Did anyone came from the computer background? Maybe these people will know what is the Oracle. So what is the advantage? What is the usages of where we'll use these all cases? Okay. We are going to see about Oracle, how to learn and what are the things we need to learn to survive in the industry. Okay. See, Oracle is a database. Usually we'll listen this word. Oracle is a database. Oracle is a database, right? So what is the meaning of the database? Okay. See, database is a storage device which is used to store the data for the future reference. Okay. See, earlier we are using the papers, the olden days. The prior that leaves we are using, right? See, now the generation is getting updated. We are also getting updated. The population is increasing, right? So the paper maintenance is very difficult, and we have a lot of problems in that. To overcome that, so the computer was introduced, and these people was introduced. The MS Excel is the database, like a database. It's not the pure database. Okay. See, whatever the things we are storing in the database for future reference, that we can call it as a database. Okay. See, in the database, we have the relational database management system, normal DBMS, RDBMS. Okay. See, normal DBMS, which you can able to store the data, but you cannot able to interact with that. You cannot able to interact with that. See, the RDBMS have the beautiful feature. You can able to store the large amount of data, and you can able to interact with that. How as we are interacting with each other. So there is some common language for us. We are interacting with that. See, the Excel. So you cannot able to interact with this Excel, but MS Access we have. So Excel is the storage device. The Excel data you can able to store into the MS Access database, and you can able to interact with that with minimum of data. Okay, so where we have the large amount of data in such place, we don't have option to store like more than 10 lakhs of data in the Excel. Okay, see, in these type of situations, to simplify our work, the industry people has introduced the organization has introduced like multiple databases in the market. See, in the topmost top 10 in the top 10, Oracle is one of the database. Okay, we have a lot of other databases as well, but Oracle is one of the topmost database. Okay, see, Oracle, the corporation has introduced this Oracle database. Okay, Microsoft organization, they have their own database, MS SQL. Oracle has introduced one open source database that is like a MySQL. Okay, so IBM, they have their own database, DB2. Okay, now the people, most of the people is looking for the PostgreSQL. It's an open source. This supports like a cloud databases. It's a free of cost, like where we can able to store the data in the Python and we can interact with. Okay, see, but Oracle is key for every so if you learn with any course. Okay, so Oracle is a key point for the any technology. If you go with SAP, if you go with Oracle Labs, so any enterprise module also, everybody will write the minimum of SQL queries. Okay, see, this is just like we are giving the opportunity to enter into the organization. So we are not like staying in more than like 2-3 years in this. Okay, so now the people are getting updated. We are also like, so, but we have the one advantage here. So everybody is looking for the PLSQL developers, hire them and train them in some other technologies and using them actually. So this is what is happening. 90% of the organization is doing the same thing. Okay. See, but we need to learn this, but we may or may not work in the industry. Basic will be the same, SQL. See, I can say it's a key language. I can say it's a key language. Everybody, minimum SQL queries, minimum. But we no need to learn any add-on languages for this. So everybody need to learn the Unix and as well as the Oracle. Okay. See, now how we are able to store the data in the database. See, like if you have student information or employee information. Okay. See, we can able to design the table however we require. Simply, this look like as a table now. Yes. Right. The same way we can able to design the table in the Oracle. Okay. So if you want to do these type of things, if you want to discuss the things with Oracle, so Oracle knows the few languages. So that is the SQL. SQL cannot able to learn our language, but we can able to learn. So we only like written the code. So we can able to learn that code, right? So if you want to do that, we need to learn the two things in the Oracle. So that's like a SQL and the PLSQL. So the PLSQL is advanced to the SQL. Okay. See, SQL, see the human is trying to insert the data in this point system that is going to into the database in this format. Okay. See, here we have some option like, so the data is not going directly into the database. So there is some broker in between this. There is some interface, SQL. So sending the data and receiving the data. See how you are using this, your computer. The computer does not know the English letters, but it can able to accept our alphabetical values and giving the back to the in alphabetical order answer. What are the answer you are expecting? See, there is some interpreter in between this computer. Okay, so translator maybe you can treat like that. So the same way, SQL is a interface between humans and the database. Okay. If you want to learn this SQL, the SQL stands for first structured query language. See, you need to follow some rules and regulations as per the corporation, Oracle Corporation. Okay. See, we cannot able to give like the table name like a XYZ 123 something like. So because they have some rules and regulations, the name must starts with the alphabetical. So our human names also starts with the alphabetical. Okay. So not like any numerical values, right? So the same way, we need to follow some structure, not only with the name. So if you want to learn anything in this, so we need to learn the things in this. Okay. See what is Oracle, so that we will see some diagram. See, if you take this empty space or empty land, okay, this we can treat like as a Oracle software. See, you will purchase the Oracle software from the Oracle organization. It's not like the database. So when it becoming a database, you install the system, like I mean, you install this Oracle software in your machine. It creates some default table space for you. See, you purchase your laptop and it may have the hard disk. So, but you cannot able to use that hard disk. When you can able to use, when you install the operating system into that, then you can divide that hard drive into the multiple drives. Then only you can able to store and you can able to use that, right? The same way, street like I say, this is the empty space as a Oracle. Okay, so okay, see the empty software whenever you are installing into the database, then it is becoming like a useful for us. Operating system or any software. So that will become usage when will, so the usage will happen when you are going to install that, then only the usage will start, right? See, the same way, see, you purchase this land, you cannot able to store anything into this open land. So at least if you want to stay in that, at least you need to build some compound wall kind. Then you can able to try to stay in that land, right? See, so treat like I say, we are doing some compound wall in this. Like this is your database. So you made some compound wall, security wall that will help you to stay in this for somewhat safety. You haven't built anything in this. See, after doing the compound wall, so if you want to stay in that as a safety, more features and everything. So in this also, you can able to stay in this, but you cannot able to store anything in this because it's an open place. You don't have, so if you come the rain and sunrise and everything, so you cannot able to stay in that. So if you want to stay in this, we need to build our own database inside. You need to create some storage devices. It may be a hotel, it may be any single room or double room, like a hostel, PC, anything. So this is the storage device for the humans, right? See, this is called, like I say, our storage device. Data storage device is a table. Data storage device is a table. So treat like I said, this is your home and this is your hospital, hostel, anything. So this we are like in the hospital, the patients will stay. In the house, we can stay, right? So this we can call it as a table. So you install Oracle and the database has been created by the default. Then inside the database, if you want to store the data, you need to use the tables for this. Tables. So if you want to create this type of tables, so that see the house is like if you purchase the open land, automatically the house won't be happen, right? We need to build that house and we need to do some alterations or something like anything we need to do manually, right? The same way. So if you want to do this, so if you want to build this house, you will do some plan in your mind and you can go to the municipal office for taking the approval for this. So whatever the things you are in your mind that you are going to define on the paper with the help of the architecture people, right? The same way, if you want to build your house in the database, the house is becoming like table. Okay, if you want to build your table, that you need to define your. So while starting, if you want to store this type of information, I need this column information. I need this information. This. So you, while starting off your business, what are the information you are expecting from the customers? What are the information you need to store as a mandatory? So these are all information you need to define on your mind, right? So if you want, what are the things you are defining in your mind? If you want to define that object as a object, so you need to use one of the SQL language. See, SQL is having the 5 languages. Okay, DDL, DML. See, the humans is having more than 27 languages in our India. The same way, SQL is also having 5 types of languages: DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, and DQL. Okay, see, data definition language. DDL stands for data definition language. See, which is used to define the database objects. Define the database objects. That may be a new house construction, that may be an alteration of your house, that may be a destroying of your house. See, you build your house. Okay, so like you did like housewarming and the people came and see the houses for like they were relative or vastu consultant, something. Okay, so they are saying like sister, why you build these steps in this place? Why you build this kitchen in this place? So then you cannot able to destroy your entire house and we cannot able to rebuild that. So we'll do some modifications, right? So we have option, we are doing that options. Okay. So you may say like now we are only two people in our house. So like a single bedroom is enough for us. Okay. Now like for some days like we are getting some guests or something like. So in such place you need to add one more room. So instead of putting the people into the hotels or kind, so we no need to go for the hotels kind. We can put the some extra room for the people. Now it becoming like as a 2 BHK, right? See why you added that room. So the after adding this room, like the things is not going smooth in your house. Maybe you are doubting on that particular room, so you need to collapse that. So these are all in defining the things only. So whatever the things you are doing the at the house level, that we can say data definition language. So you are all doing you are touching with original objects. So you are not touching inside the members. So inside members is becoming like as a humans. But the data is us. People are the data in the house. Okay. See, if you want to do this, first you need to build a house. Use the creation command for this. If you want to do any modifications, use the alter command for doing the alterations. Okay, drop. So you are not at all happy with this house, then you can destroy the house completely using the drop. Okay, then the rename. So now you are in good position, you build the house. So something is happened bad from your end. So you cannot able to like stay in that house. Like you will let's say sell this house for the someone. So after, so while selling your house to the someone, so you no need to like collapse the entire house and you know that the see the seller just like a renaming the property ownership with the they other person, right? See the same, this all the things we'll do in the data definition language. So I left the only truncate command here. I will explain about this. Okay. So then, see, just I'm giving the story here. So we'll do the practical things by tomorrow, or we'll do the minimum practical things today. Okay. See, data definition language will help us to define the database objects. The define in the sense you need to keep in this mind the stories and everything. Okay. See, then the second language, data manipulation language. See, you build your house. So the house is when it will be, see, you constructed your house. See, if you stay in that house, then it will useful for you, right? See, now you build the table in this. You are not at all storing any information in this. So no use, right? So we need to store the information. So treat like I say, employee number is one call. Okay. Employee name, salary, hire date, hire date. Okay. So then department number. So you may see the more number of columns as well. For now, we'll see the things here. See, now you are doing this house, right? See, now, see, if you want to define this is the master bedroom, this is the child bedroom, this is the kitchen. So how you are deciding that things? See, if you want to define the employee number, so what type of information you will store in this place? What type of information you are storing into this? That you need to aware of this prior. Okay. See, employee number. So the name itself is having, I'm going to store the number values. Okay. Some people will give the employee IDs with alphanumerical. That we cannot say blindly with it's a number values. Okay, so few people will mention like the company name hyphen employee ID, something like, right? So the same way, we need to aware of what type of information we are getting from the client, that what the type of information we need to store, that we need to aware of this. Okay, see, if you know I'm going to store the numerical values. So I need to use the data type of which data type I need to use. See that number is a data type, right? See, in the Excel also we have the option like a format cell option, right? This format cell option will help us to decide the data type. Here we are saying the category, but we are calling as a data type in the bracket. General. So general it contain, it allows any type of values, right? Numbers. Yes, everything will allow. See, in Excel, it automatically, see, you mentioned like a number data type, you are trying to insert the character values in the sense. So, no, it allows in the Excel, but it won't allow in the SQL because Excel is how the future, it automatically can change the data type based on your input. But Oracle won't be do like that. So just I'm saying like, so here we can able to mention the number data type and you can insert the anything. Hello. Okay. See, if you want to store this number data type, you are using the number data type values. So format cells, number. Okay. So if you want to store the date values, use the date data type. And if you want to store the special characters, you want to store these text values. Okay. So we can use the what type of values we are going to store the same way we can able to use this. So the same way, if you want to store the number data types, first we need to learn the data types here. Okay, so we need to learn the data types. So if you want to store the number values, we need to use the number data type values. Okay, so if you want to store the character values, we'll use the character data type. So that is the, like in the character, we have two types of things again, char and varchar. I will explain about this detail. Okay, so we have date data types. In the date, so we are seeing like a few people will capture the date of transaction and few people will capture the date of transaction along with time, right? So the time is a mandatory when you are trying to see, you are doing the mini statement. The mini statement will capture the last recent 5 transactions or 10 transactions, right? See, you are doing like a per day, like hundreds of transactions. So so if you capture like a date only for the transaction, so what is the recent transactions I cannot able to guess, I cannot able to display correctly for you. So to get it the proper information, so I need to store the timestamp as well, date along with the time. So I need to use based on my requirement. Okay. Then we have other data types, long data type, and these we'll see by, again, I will explain these data types by next class actually. Okay. So number data type. Number data type, it allows the only numerical values. Only numerical. 0 to 9. Other than this 10 values, you cannot able to insert any other values, alphabetical, special characters. You cannot able to do any values. The number data type allows the maximum 38 digits. Maximum 38 digits. See, in the See, if anyone came from the C Java background, see if you want to store the integer values, so we have integer and float, right? Integer data type allows the only integer values, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Float, decimal values. So what are the values? We have the point values, 99.1, 99.10, something like. So if you want to store those type of values, you need to use the float is the data type for. You can able to use this integer and float data type in the Oracle as well. But Oracle implicitly change this data type, implicitly converting to the number data type. If you provide this integer data type, so it implicitly changing that to the number data type. Okay, so I'm like saying every time like don't use the keyword. So, but you are saying like always like treat like as a pronouncing as a the. So you are always the using this pronoun. See, I'm saying like don't you call it as a the keyword. So the you can pronounce like as a the. So but you are so the class teacher can able to adjust with you, and he can able to understand this is the keyword. The same way, Oracle can able to understand this integer. If you provide as an integer, it implicitly changing that to the number data type. You see only the number. So number data type allows the 0 to 9 characters. Okay, then character values. So if you want to store the data type of character values, you need to use either char or the varchar2. Okay, see what is the difference of this? We'll see. For now, we'll see about only the character values. Okay, so character values can allow the numerical values and as well as the character values. See, treat like as a number data type is the example for this. See, in the general category, everybody can able to come under the general category reservation. Okay, so in STSC, these type of reservations, if you have, no one will come, the particular caste will come into the picture, right? See, the same way, number data type is reserved for the specific people. The character data type is reserved for the any everyone. It's look like as a general data type, general category. Okay, see, and if you want to store the date values, we'll use the date. If you want to store the date along with time, so we'll use the timestamp is the data type. Okay, so now we are seeing this only this. Okay, so now if you want to design this table, if you want to design this table, okay, so we need to use this, copy these columns and the table name. So for time being, so creation. So the creation can happen with the create command. Create table employee underscore sample. Create table name. We are creating the object. So if you are constructing the hospital, create hospital name. If you are constructing the hotel, create hotel name. See, hotel, hospital, these are the object. So this is defining the like what is this component, right? See the same way now. This is the table. So if you are mentioning, we are designing the table for this. Okay. Now use the employee number. Create table name. Inside that, what are the things we need to define? Master bedroom, child bedroom, hall, kitchen. So how you are designing the same. So treat like I say, employee number is the number data type. So I'm going to store the column. So the syntax for this, create table name, column data type, size also we need to mention. See the room size also we are designing 6 by 6 or 6 by 10, right? The same way we need to design our room size in the sense the data type size you need to mention, right? So for this simply you need to use the number of 2. In that sense, it allows the only 2 digits of numbers, 0 to 99. Okay, so e name. the name itself is having the alphabetical values. If you want to store the alphabetical values, we need to use this character data type. The character data types, it allows the alphanumerical characters. So alphanumerical. So numericals in the sense number, alpha in the sense characters. It allows a special characters transfer and the date values also. Everybody will allowed in the general category. So create table name, column, data type, size, comma. If you want to design the another room, so you need to mention the data type for this. So char of 10 and the salary is another column number. Okay. So hire date is a date data type for this. So for date data type, we cannot able to mention the size. Okay. Then the DEPT number is the number. This is the way we need to create the table, the database. Okay. See, if you want to work, so way like you install the Oracle. So after installing this Oracle, you need to go to the command prompt. After installing the Oracle, I am saying, so the software has installed correctly or not, you need to verify like this. If you type like from command prompt SQL plus, if the Oracle is properly installed, it asks for the username. Enter username. See, it is showing the SQL star plus. SQL star plus is the environment where you can work in the earlier. In the olden days, there is a lot of difficulties, right? But we like keep on like we are updating, we are doing the updation on this software to simplify or to improve the productivity. Okay, see the same way. This is the command prompt. You need to write everything. The see now go to the. I'm connecting to the admin user first time. So this as sysdb because you don't know like what is the software you put at the installation time. Okay, this is your local machine. You no need to remember the password. Simply SQL plus and if you press the enter, it offer the username. So provide the username for this and it asks for the password as well. You don't need to provide any password here. Simply now it connected to this. Now you connected to the admin user. No, if you install the Oracle, sys is the admin user for every database. Sys, admin. If you are working in the personally, if you are working in the industry also, every Oracle software is a boss for the sys is the boss for every Oracle software. Okay. See, it's kind of a system is we have another database, sorry, another user. So he is like somewhat like president, vice president kind. Okay, he have the minimum admin qualities in this system as well.
Installed user.
Yeah, these are the pre-installed users. Okay. See, in the market, see, Oracle having the three types of versions actually. Three types of versions. Okay, so we have Express Edition, professional or standard edition. Sorry, professional or enterprise edition. It's like as a clinical trial. See, you are doing some medicine manufacturing. So you cannot able to apply that in the humans directly. So you will do the sample on the uh, animals and you will do on the, you can purchase some of the humans and you can apply the medicine on the people, right? So the same way, so if you want to capture the Oracle customers or company people, so the people need to work on that first freely, right? See, this usually introduced for this the students.
Okay.
It's a free of cost. No need to pay anything for this Express Edition. Okay. See, then we have Standard Edition. So in the Express Edition, we won't get all the features. So advanced features won't be get in this experience.
Okay.
Okay. So it like as a VIP, normal darshan, VIP darshan, VVIP darshan kind. Okay. See, in the Express Edition, we won't get the like all the features. So you may get like a 70% of features kind.
Okay.
So in the Standard Edition, you may get like up to 85% of the features.
Okay.
This Standard Edition can able to use the small organizations and as well as the students. So who are able to interest to learn advance somewhat. So they are giving as a free of cost in the Standard Edition as well. Okay, so who are using, so for this as a personally is giving the free. If you want to use this standard version in the organization, you need to purchase this standard version also. Okay, so this how the two types of people can use in the standard edition, organizations and as well as the personal people also.
Personal people buy them.
Yeah, no. Personal people can able to use freely standard version.
Okay.
The organization need to purchase.
Okay.
Okay, here the professional, it's specially for the organization. Okay, see, this will contain all the advanced features. Every feature can be able to use these people. Okay, now if you install this Express Edition in your machine, it creates some default database in your machine. I said like if you install the Oracle, it creates some storage device. The storage device in the sense database.
Okay.
It creates some database. See, you are like introducing one of your product in the market. See the product usage, the product how you build that no one will aware of this, right?
Yeah.
So for that, the company people will put some outlets and giving the demo for the people. So why we are giving the demo? So if you know the advantage of this product and everything, so these people will try to purchase our product, right? The same way, the Oracle is trying to give some input how you need to work in the database. So you cannot able to know like directly do the product knowledge. I mean, you won't get the directly product knowledge for you, right? So the demo how we are giving the same way here. If you install the Express Edition in your machine, by default it create the XC is the database. XC is the database. Okay, if you create the standard version, by default the name I'm saying, by default it create the ORCL is the database name. If you create the professional edition also, it create the ORCL is the database for it. Okay, see now see after installing this, you need to connect to the admin user first. Okay, so you need to create your own user. Okay, so if you don't have this admin user, how can you connect to this database? See, if you use your laptop, so the user is having, see, every computer we are using some user, right? So guest user, personal user, something like how we are managing. So on the server, we can able to manage n number of users, right? N number of users, and any one of the user need to be as an admin. Okay. See, admin is must to control the users and user requirements. Okay. See now, if you want to create a own user, okay, you need to use this command, create user. Okay, so I'm creating the batch 14. Create username, identified by any password, ABC also you can able to. Now the user got created. So now I'm opening with another session, command prompt. Okay, now we created this user. Create username. So how we have the sysdb. The password we don't have, so we use this right now. I'm trying to connect with this particular user. So you can use directly SQL plus batch 14 and username SQL plus username / password @ database name you need to provide @ database name. So I will explain. So ABC. See, @ database name is optional. So when you are working in the local machine, so when you are working in the server, so the server Oracle will install in the server and we are connecting with that particular server through the TNS name. Okay, so that will taken care by the admins. We no need to worry of this. Just this is also taken care by the admin only. But to know these things, I'm giving this. Now trying to connect this. See, it is giving the error for you. TNS could not resolve the connector identifier specific. See, for this, you need to one segment. See, now haven't used this keyword exe keyword, so you can see the user batch 14 lacks the create session privilege. See, you created the user, so you are saying like what is his job. You are not at all saying. So whether he need to do the admin activities, whether you need to do the development activities. So if you want to do anything into the database, you need the access. So the access, if you want to connect to the your mission, you need to give the session privilege for this. Right? So you can try with this grant. So if you want to use my component, I need to give the permission for it. Right? So if you want to provide the permission, we'll use the permission in the sense privilege here. So we won't call it as a permission, we will call it as a privilege. If you want to provide the privilege with any other users, we need to use the grant command for this. Grant. Okay. So create session 2. That's good. Now I provided the privilege to connect to the system. So now I'm trying to do the connection. Now see, now he can able to access this database. Right? Now you provided to connect to the session, but you are not provided any access to create the table or do any other things. Right? Now, what are the things we made now? Access the database. We are not, no other.
Enter anything.
Yes, yes.
For entering also, we need to give again permission.
No, you already entered into the database, but you are not able to do any action, any action, any action. So now simply I copied this instead of writing again, I copied this and I'm pasting into this.
Salary number and department number, don't we give the size?
Sorry, salary number?
And size.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned the size. If you haven't mentioned the size, what will happen? I will show you.
Okay.
I will show you. See, it is giving the error for you. Insufficient privilege.
Okay.
You need to take the again this permission also. Create table. Grant create table. See, this create table privilege is having the dropping the table, altering the table, renaming the table. So all the DDL commands, whatever the DDL commands having, right? This will get entire on the table.
Okay.
This all privileges will get on this particular privilege itself. Okay. Now I'm trying to see now he is not able to use this. So just you are saying like you can build the house in my place, but you are not giving the land permission. Land. See, there must be hard drive is your storage device in your computer. But what are the drives you are creating? C drive, D drive. These are the logical storage device. Hard disk is the physical storage device. The C drive, D drive, E drive, whatever the things you have in your computer. This is the logical storage device. So if you want to store any information in the database, so the server is also having the hard disk, right? And you will create the C drive, hard drive kind in your mission. That we can call it as a database files, DB files. Okay, inside the DB files, we'll create that's a physical files. Physical files. Inside the physical files, we are going to create some table space. We'll use these DB files and we'll create some logical space in your DB. Logical space. So this we can call it as a table space. Table space is the logical space to create or to store the data in the table space. Okay. See, if you want to get that permission as well, so simply I'm providing the admin access for this grant DBA to the transporting. Now he can able to. I provided all the access. Okay, if you want to build the hotel, you need to provide the hotel privilege. Okay, so keep in mind we may use in the future like with all the other database objects. For now, we have only one database object is the table. So while creating a further database also, we'll get the privilege issues usually. So now I provided as admin, so he have all the access. Okay, so now we created this table, right? Now, if you want to, now you build this, okay? So now the table is created or not. If you want to verify, use describe is the command. So if you create the table, so the table has been created. So it is showing like clearly for you, but the table is present in the database or not. If you want to know, if you want, what are the columns we have inside the table? What are the data types are for that? So if you want to know this, we'll describe the table. Describe. You can use the full command as well. DESCRIB, describe.
Okay.
So the shortcut also Oracle can understand few. Okay. Now see employee number of two. So you mentioned number of two, it is showing care of 10, it is showing number. See, if you haven't provided the size of the data type, see, it take the maximum size of, see, the data type has some limitations. So it allows the 1 to 38 digits. Okay. So 1 is the minimum size and 38 is the maximum size. Okay. If you haven't mentioned this by mistakenly or wantedly, so you take the 38 digits of number up to 38 digits. Okay. See, in the date, we no need to mention the size. Okay. See, in the character also, if you haven't mentioned the size, so the character data type, it allows the minimum is 1 byte, maximum is 2000 bytes. Okay. But you miss the size in this case, the character will take only 1 byte of space and only one character of size. The character data type is having the feature to take the default space as a one minimum size. It will take as a minimum size is the default, and number data type it will take as a maximum size is the default. Okay, so we'll see. Now we created this table. If you want to do any modification in this, now you build this house like of 6 by 10 is the room size. Now I want to increase that particular size 10 by 10 kind. So in the sense, now I created the character of 10 is the room size. Now I want to update this or increase this size. Create table, sorry, alter table. Okay, alter table name. So now I'm doing the modification. Modify and ename char of 20. Now we can describe the same table now. We'll see the difference. You can able to increase or you can able to decrease the size using the alter command, and you can able to add the alter table name, add exit date or separation date or exit date, anything. We'll use the timestamp. Now we added one column, exit date. So you mention only hire date. So joining date. So the company's people will, some people will left the organizations as well, right? We need to maintain the exit date as well. Now see, we added this column. So the client won't like mention the exit details in the employee information. So now he's asking to drop this table from this column. Simply use drop. See, while earning the money, you need to see if you are earning like 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs, you need to give the answer for the IT team. IT in the sense income tax team, not internal IT team. So IT people, you need to give the answer for the IT people. So how you are earning, like where you are getting this amount, kind, right? Okay. See, whereas while spending this money, what are the things you earn, right? So while spending of this money, you no need to give anyone. So I mean, you no need to give any answer for anyone,
Yes.
right? So the same way, while earning of the money is different and spending is the money is different. See, adding the column to the table, that you need to mention the size of this. So now you are decided to drop this particular rule. So whatever the size we have, that we no need to measure for this. You need to collapse that entire rule. Okay. So you no need to mention the data type of that particular column. Simply drop that particular room name. Alter table name, drop column name. You no need to mention the size. While designing that, you need to mention the size. While destroying, you no need to mention the size. Now you can describe this table. No column will present for this. Okay, now adding again this column. Okay, now now we learn about the creation, alteration, and rename. We are going to see about the rename. So rename, simply like rename old table name to the new table. Old table name to the new table name. Sample to the new. See, now I'm trying to see, you sell your house to the someone. So by next day you are going that way. So this is my house in the sense. So like they kept on the security. So if you go to the house, nearby house also, he can throw away from that place. Right? Now we can describe this table. See, it is showing object employee does not exist because the house already changed. Okay. Now we can describe this with new name. Okay. So now we learn this all thing in this except the drop we have. So the drop table. So now I'm going to drop the employee underscore new. Now the table has been dropped. Now the table has been dropped. So use store recycle. Recycle bin is not enabled for the, see, if you delete that file in your computer, it go and sit into the, it go and sit into the recycle bin. The same way, if you delete the data, so if you delete the table, now there is an option to restore. There is an option to restore. The same way, we have the option to restore the things from your computer. So now I'm connecting with another user. So you are in batch 14 user now. Now I'm trying to connect with from batch 14 to the another user. So in such place, you no need to use again SQL plus. You are already in the Oracle. So you understand, no? So now, so if you are connecting freshly from your computer from the command prompt, you need to use SQL plus username slash password at the rate database name. But where you are connecting, and I mean, already you are in the SQL prompt, you no need to use SQL plus command. Simply use CONN connect or CONNE. Connect So username / password. Now I connected to the HR user. So you can check that which user you are. So user is HR. Okay. Now I'm creating some table. I've created this table now. So the purge recycle bin. The purge recycle bin in the sense. So what are the files is having in the recycle bin? How we are doing the empty recycle bin equivalent to the purging this. So this is the meaning of purging. Purging in the sense cleaning of the recycle bin. Cleaning of the recycle bin, emptying of the recycle bin. Now I purge the recycle bin. I don't have any information on this now. So you can check this. So recycle bin. No files in this now. Now I am trying to drop this now. So use no store recycle bin. Employee sample has came into the recycle bin now. Okay, so we have the option to delete the data permanently as well. Simply instead of delete keyword, use the shift delete option. So while deleting of the files, right? While deleting of the files, see our recycle bin does not have any data now. Now I am using this delete. Now it go and sit into the recycle bin. Now the file in this place. Now you have the option to restore. Now the file has been came to the back in your machine, right? The same way, what are the things you are doing in this? Now you can able to delete this by pressing the shift delete keyword. By selecting this, use the shift delete. See, are you sure you want to delete permanently this file? See, I'm not using the delete keyword here. I'm using shift delete. So it won't go and sit into the recycle bin. It's a permanent delete. The same way we can able to delete the things in your machine. Now we deleted this file, sorry, table from your machine. Now you can able to flashback how you are restoring the table, sorry, file from your machine, recycle bin. Right? The same way we can use the flashback option for this flashback table, employee sample 2 before drop. Before drop. Now see, flashback has been completed. Now you can check this recycle bin, no files is present. And you can describe this table. Now the table came back. It's optional for this command actually. What are the things you are writing in the Oracle? Every line need to be terminated with semicolon actually. So this the describe is not expected the semicolon. The describe can able to understand. So where you are not using like multiple commands in this place, right? So if you are using like multiple commands, every command must be terminated with a semicolon. Yeah, we restored it now. So now the see you can see in the recycle bin, we don't have any component in this now.
But through recycling bin, from recycling bin, you have completely deleted it, right? Like through drop.
No, by using the drop, no, by using the drop, you can drop the table.
Okay.
If you drop this particular table, that table will be go and sit into the recycle bin. It's a normal drop. If you want to drop this table permanently,
Shift the bin.
the shift delete client of this shift delete. So if you want to do that, you need to use this purge command for this. Purge. Drop table, table name, purge. It will delete permanently. Now you can check in the recycle bin. So if you want to try with this flashback also.
Permanently, right?
Yeah.
So then again, to flashback how it came that I did.
No, we haven't deleted permanently. Actually, we used like a temporary delete. Temporary delete.
Okay.
See, here we have two things. Permanent delete in the sense drop table, table name, purge.
Okay. With the flashback also, we won't get it again back.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Done.
If it is a temporary case, I use the command like drop table, table name.
Okay.
I haven't used the purge keyword in the earlier. Now, just now I use the purge keyword.
Okay.
If you are using the purge keyword in the sense, it's a permanent delete. So don't get confused. Yes. Better won't use this purge command
Okay.
in the production.
Okay.
See, after verifying of your things, what are the table you supposed to delete? Delete that and you can verify the things, all the things carefully, and you can do the purge command simply, purge recycle bin. So you need to drop this file. See, you can delete the file, it go and sit into the recycle bin and do the, after verifying like this is the file I want to delete actually. So the file got deleted. So use the empty recycle bin option. That is also same, right? But you have two additional steps in this.
Okay. Okay. Need to go again back to recycle.
Back to the recycle bin and complete delete.
Okay. One step is getting reduced.
Yeah. If you are very confident in that, then only we need to go for this.
Okay.
Okay. So now we did these things. Okay. Accept and get everything we.
Yeah.
Right. Now, sorry, we left with we can able to rename the column as well. We can able to rename the column as well. Yeah. And I will explain that truncate after completion of the DML. Okay. Now we have the table employee underscore sample. Now I created with the salary as the column name. Okay. So I need to change as a that column alter table employee underscore sample. So rename column salary to sal. So just I'm putting some shortcut. Okay. So now we can describe your table. Now the data, I mean column has been changed. So in the alteration, you can able to add the column, you can able to drop the column, rename the column, increase the size, decrease the size. Okay, so while decreasing the size, you have some limitations that you people need to find by tomorrow. I will explain. Okay, so now we'll see about the DML commands and we'll close for the day. Okay. So DML, data manipulation language. Okay, so data manipulation language in the sense, what are the defined object having with you that you need to use? So if you want to use in the sense, you build your house, right? So the the advantage of the DML is if you want to stay in your house, you need to push the members into your house, right? So I need to push in the sense inserting. I'm inserting the data into the table. I'm inserting the members into house. Okay, so for that, I need to use the insert command to insert the data into my table. Okay, so now you inserted the data into the table, and so by so treat like as a take like the too late for the bachelors. Okay, so like now you joined in some new college and you don't have, I don't want to stay in hostel, so I decided to take the house for rent. Okay, for now I have only one member, so I'm only one guy, I'm looking for the house. Okay, so I cannot able to bear like a 10,000 rupees. So it, I went for some place, he is saying like a 10,000 the rent. I cannot able to bear that much. So I will say to the owner, so I'm like only one guy for now, so I can like take the another three members from my college. Okay, he accepted and I stayed in this house now. Okay, so for next day you went for the college and you taken the another three members and came to this place. Okay, so you did party in that particular day. The same day, the owner is came like, so why you people are doing the disturbance for the all the people? Okay, in that particular place. So all the four people are not drinking, are not doing any things. So only one is the culprit, the bad person. Or okay, see, these three people are pointing that particular person. So owner is saying like, so you people need to send away from this room that particular person. So in that case, you need to delete that particular member information from the table. Okay. See, now if you are able to pay that house rent, you can send him out for the house. If you are not able to pay that particular house amount, okay, in such case, sir, we cannot able to send him out. So because the rent is burden for us. So then he's asked to get it someone and send him back out on it. Yeah. So he explained. Okay, then you need to do like a 1, 2, 3, 4 persons we have. So the third person is having the trouble. He is the culprit. Okay. In such case, you need to update the things. What are the things third person's having? So the fifth person is coming into the house now. You are replacing with that person information with fifth person into the third person information. So you need to do the updation for this. Okay. Then we have the merge command. Okay. See, we have four people having the capacity for that particular room. You cannot able to uh, like do the insertion and updation. So insertion in the sense, this third person need to go out and the fifth person need to be come into the insert. Right? You are doing the two actions here. One is deleting, one is in the updating, right? Not updating, inserting. Okay. We can able to do updation is different. I mean, I'm saying we are doing two actions in this. We are doing the same. Whatever the things you said correct only. So I'm saying like we have two things happening in this deletion and as well as the updation is one thing. So you can able to directly update that particular information. You can kept one by one thing in that particular place. One you can replace one thing and send out that thing. So here, if you want to do the two actions at a time, the deletion and as well as the updation. Okay. Updation in the sense insertion. And rather than replacing, we are deleting and we are inserting another. Okay. See, or we can say like a five, like we have the permission to like stay in this house, 5 members. Okay. 5 members. So now we already having like 4 people. Now we have the fifth person and we are looking for the sixth person as well. Okay. Because the third person you need to be removed, right? Now in this case, I'm like looking for the two persons. One is trying to replace with the fourth person and new one, right? So I'm getting the 2 members at a time into my house. Right? In that case, I cannot able to do like two insertions. One is the delete and one is insert, right? So instead of doing the two DML operations differently, I can do the parallel DML operations at a time by using the merge command. So existing person received, I can update that particular information. Add it. Okay, the same person, third person, I'm giving the permission or I taken the like a drug from the hospital, like to stop the drinking or something like that. Okay, so he came back with he left the bad qualities and came back with you.
Okay.
So in such place, you need to update that person information. He does not have any bad quality now. So we are going to continue with this person. Got it, right?
Okay.
So certain conditions. So if I get that particular information, existing information and as well as the new information. So the existing information need to be updated in your table, and new information also need to be inserted in your machine.
Okay.
So we are doing like a parallel DML operations, two parallel DML operations. Simultaneously, you are doing the two actions at a time. So in such place, we'll use the merge command. Merge command. Okay. So now we created the table and we are trying to insert the data into this now. The syntax simply insert into table name. The employee underscore sample. See now if you want to do any changes in this table name, if I did any mistake, see I cannot able to do anything directly in this place. I cannot able to see I supposed to do the changes in templates. I did the mistake. I need to put like suppose EMPP, something like I need to write some spelling. I did some spelling mistake in this. So I supposed to delete in this place. I cannot able to go directly in this place. Right? Now I need to use the left arrow, right arrow, something like it is going to this place. Right? So here we are losing the productivity unnecessarily. So moving from here to there, it is taking long time and wasting our productivity.
Yeah.
To simplify our work,
Yeah.
the people has divided the third-party tools. See, going to the restaurant and taking the food from that particular restaurant is taking time for you, unnecessarily wasting the time. So the Jamota is giving the future to simplify our work.
Yes.
Right? The same way, Oracle has introduced the third-party tools to connect to the Oracle and work on this particular Oracle. So like we have the SQL developer, PLSQL developer, Toad. Okay, these are the third-party tools which is used to work in your real-time case.
Okay.
We won't use this command prompt actually.
Okay.
So, but you need to know what is this command prompt, what is the where we are working in the earlier, where we are working in the earlier. Okay. So now simply you can go to the Oracle Corporation and how you are doing the download of SQL developer for Oracle. Okay. After installing this Oracle, so you will see this type of button in your machine, either maybe a start button or anything. Okay. Now I double click this. Now it open like this. See now the page look like this.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to connect your machine, actually it need to be show an option here, connections. It is not showing for me. Okay. So my system having some trouble. Okay. Click on this button. So this worksheet, SQL worksheet, or you can press Alt F10. Okay. So it asks this username and select connection. If you are already having inbuilt connections, the username / password kind. Okay. So use this plus symbol. Use this plus symbol. So these are all inbuilt connections from my end. I already saved this. Okay, we have batch. Right now, use the username. This connection name you can provide with any name, your name also. Okay, so in this case, batch 14. and the password ABCD. Okay, so now see here in this case, this is a username and password, fine. Now I'm trying to connect with this now. Test the connection. It is not giving any error for you. Here we need to observe a few more things in your office or organization if you are working. See, host name.
Yeah.
Host name is the local host because I'm working in my machine. My Oracle is also installed in my machine. It's a local for me.
Yeah.
So that's the reason by default it take the local host. So where you are working in the server, the Oracle is installed, the host name is required. The host name in the sense you need to be take the IP address for this. Okay.
Within the organization.
Yeah, the server IP address.
Okay.
So simply if you go to the command prompt and if you mention like a IPS config, you will get that actually. I cannot able to show this IP address for my system. Simply IP config you need to use. Okay, so I'm now in the command prompt, I'm exiting this. Okay, simply IP config. So press this, you will get it.
Okay.
IP
The
ADDR4. IP ADDR4 and 2. So it will show that. So you can go to that and you can see the IP address of the server IP address you need to mention in this place. And the port number. So port number is the default is by 1521. Mostly,
For the Oracle.
yeah, Oracle. Mostly the organizations also won't change this port number.
Okay.
99.9% will be use the same port number. Very rare people can able to change this port. And SID. SID is the database name. So I said like if you install the Express edition, by default it create the XE. If it is a standard version, it create the ORCL is the database name.
ORCL.
ORCL. Or professional edition also same ORCL. Okay. Now see, now I mentioned like what are the things I required, I provided this. So if I change to the ORCL, it get the error for us. The TNS listener refuse the connection. So you need to use the XE is the database.
Express version.
Expression.
Okay.
So the save password is option. So I already used, this is my personal PC. I don't have any thread. So I use the save option. It's not recommended. Okay, save. Go to the connection. It will open like this. To open the SQL worksheet. It open actually my system has some slow. Okay. So what are the things we did it now till now? Describe.
Because they have exit from the command prompt.
No. If you exit, that's not like a problem. So just you came from that particular session.
Okay.
The Oracle will be keep on running at the backend. Okay. So now you created the table, right?
Yes.
If you create the table, so maybe I drop that particular table.
Okay.
I need to check the table is present in my machine or not. User underscore tables is the place. Whatever the things you are creating in your machine as a tables, all the tables will capture and stored in this particular place. So simply I'm creating the table. Create table. C is the table name. And C1 is the column name and the number is the data type for this. See now the table has been created. Till now we don't have any information in this user underscore tables because we don't have any table. Now see, C is the table. The table space is the system. Okay, so the tables will be stored in a user underscore tables. See, in the Oracle, if you are creating anything, so hotel is also room, sorry, house. Hostel also house. House also house. Right? So everything we can call it as a like object in the database. So what are the component you are creating in your machine, that we can call it as an object simply. Object. Everything we can call it as a database object. That may be a table, that will be anything. No. See, the insertion is different. The insertion is used to store the data into the database objects. You are not creating the object here. That's like used for the data insertion, data manipulations. Inserting the member and dropping the member, deleting the member, updating the member. To doing this, we are using this. This is the commands. But whatever the things I'm saying, the table is the object. And view is the object. So we have like this following the topics we are going to see in the SQL. Okay, so commands, inside these commands, we are using like a tables. The same way, we have views is one type of objects.
Okay.
And we have the, what are the things we are storing in, see, no, in the database, what are the things it is taking the size? We can say it's a database object. Yes. What are the things you are storing as a object? Okay, that's we can call it as a database objects. That like as a table is one type of object, view is one type of objects, synonyms is one type of database objects, and we have the indexes is one type of database objects. Okay, for now we have only one database objects, that is a table. We'll see the rest all one by one by practicing it. Okay, see, sequences are also one type of database objects. Okay, so we'll see the things by tomorrow class. Okay, so how we are inserting the data, how we update, delete, or if you want to, first you can create this all the things, then come back with this.